For the past 4 years, the Attorney General's office has used Marlboro County court time and the county grand jury to create multiple criminal prosecutions following Queen City News investigations. Despite the taxpayer time and money spent here, the South Carolina Attorney General has walked away from Marlboro County without logging a single conviction.
If he turn around, pop it to him. Give him what he asked for. Shut the door.
The first prosecution happened in December 2021.
Get in there! If I had one last pop to him.
After we uncovered this video of former Marlboro County Sheriff Charles Lemon ordering his deputy Andrew Cook to shock an inmate multiple times. The county grand jury indicted Lemon and Cook each on one count of felony assault and misconduct in office charges. Anything you want to say about these indictments? The governor suspended the sheriff from office the day of the indictments. The state's charges stood for 2 years until the feds indicted Lemon and Cook on a federal civil rights charge in January 2024. Instead of the AG prosecuting its own assault and misconduct charges, the AG's office dropped those state cases and never pursued those prosecutions. Former Deputy Cook pleaded guilty to the federal charge.
I just heard not guilty.
And the feds tried Lemon in August 2024 on the civil rights violation. But the federal jury acquitted Lemon, finding federal prosecutors did not prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt.
And she came out the room and she had the gun.
Show me how she had it.
She had it in her hand like this. And I looked and I went back and I fell. And that's when my daughter came out of the room and she had the gun right to my face and was like, "I'll shoot you, Shonda."
Shonda Nash was the victim in the second AG prosecution in Marlboro County. She was Tammy Bullock's roommate in 2021 when Nash says she and Bullock, who was holding office as the county's deputy probate judge at the time, got into an argument in their rental home when Bullock threatened to shoot and kill her. Ms. Bullock, is there anything you want to say? Bennettsville police immediately charged Bullock with pointing and presenting a firearm, then later turned the prosecution over to the AG's office. The Attorney General, Alan Wilson himself, hand-signed the indictment against Bullock. The case sat untouched for 3.5 years before the AG dropped the prosecution in May of 2025. Woo! And perhaps one of the most memorable of all our Marlboro County investigations, final disrespects. The State Law Enforcement Division spent a year investigating theft allegations against multiple people captured on security camera recordings from a Marlboro County home in January 2021. Hollis Slade suffered days with stomach pains and called EMS for help. He died a few hours later. Then, his friend showed up. All the while, Hollis Slade's wife, Joyce, was inside. Joyce suffers from severe dementia. Her family told us today she has little to no memory of the people and what Hollis Slade security cameras captured over the next 24 hours. Within minutes of Hollis's death, his friends and former co-workers, Will Adams, Ricky Gardner, Charlotte Green, and her son Matthew Tomlinson arrived. Will Adams started working the phone and his sources.
Hey.
And the group knew then Joyce Slade, a brand new widow, was alone and vulnerable.
We've already told her in the last hour 15 times that Hollis has passed away. She can't remember.
The videos show Adams calling a coroner, for some reason working to get possession of Hollis Slade's body, and getting legal advice from attorney Jason Luck, who is now a member of the South Carolina House.
I got you. So what's really happened now, you've got what we call a vulnerable adult.
Correct.
Needs protection.
The recording showed the group knew Hollis had family who could take care of Joyce and the things Hollis left behind.
Brother, everything will go to her and ask her.
That's right.
Well, it's Hollis' sister, but they're on the way. They're going to be here. They're going to be here this evening. Later, possibly.
And it didn't take long before the talk of and the hunt for Hollis's will started.
I just don't know if he ain't never finalized.
Maybe he did.
Well, his sister's supposed to be here.
That's Tammy Bullock,
We all taking turns rummaging through stuff.
who was the appointed Marlboro County deputy probate judge at the time.
So, if anything comes up and you need to, you let them know. You let them know that his secretary for the past 30 years is now a probate judge, and if they need me.
And Bullock was also accused of stealing from Hollis and Joyce Slade.
I don't know what they're going to do with all the dogs.
Well, we're going to take care of that. If brother and sister come in here and they got the power.
It's kind of like you got $2,000 worth of tracking collars sitting in there.
What about all the money in the bank?
It's unreal.
And you tell him.
The 401k stack.
I hate to leave $2,000 worth of tracking collars and $2 garments sitting there.
And the recordings show Ricky Gardner didn't. Slade's family believes this box was full of those $2,000 in dog collars. And that box was similar to the empty ones in Hollis's closet that held those Garmin collars. Documents show Ricky Gardner did own some of the collars, but when Hollis's family arrived,
Okay, these are the boxes that proves that Hollis had collars. See, this is a whole entire set right here. That's the TT10s. And it also has the dogs' names on them too. The Alpha and the Astros GPSs are gone with the collars, but it's still another set that's missing. Yeah, they're every bit of $800. When he said $2,000 worth, he was correct.
Where I hate to leave all this.
It's going to be sad if somebody else comes.
Brother, he didn't know he didn't want him to have it.
He didn't want them to have it.
I know he didn't want him to have it. I heard him say it.
Slade's cameras captured his friends carrying boxes of property out and loading them into Ricky Gardner's truck. The recording showed Charlotte Green and Tammy Bullock plundering through Hollis's truck.
Oh, me and Tammy got 4 packs of cigarettes out there too. We figured he didn't need them no more.
Well, I know where a whole bunch of
And later that night, Bullock, Green, and Green's son, Matthew Tomlinson, gathered to discuss what they found, even keeping something they found from Hollis's loved ones who were rushing to Marlboro County.
I told her I got that money. I said, I'm not going to leave this money sitting in that house for complete strangers to come in and you not know what's going on with it. I said, you got this house? I said, you got this house? Oh, yeah. It's so stupid. He says we come. It's like almost $200,000. She don't need to know that.
They stole from Mr. Hollis.
Linda Hood was Joyce Slade's caretaker.
They were ripping the man off, and he hadn't even got cold.
Bullock and company couldn't keep her from knowing how much cash was in the house when they got there.
And I took Miss Joyce's money and Hollis's money, because she didn't go nowhere. I did all that. And I put it in a sandwich bag, one of the quarts or the gallons. It was the big one.
How big would you estimate the bag with your hands? How big was it?
About like this. It was one of the big ones. And it was loaded with money.
A gallon bag.
A gallon bag.
In August 2023, Slade filed grand larceny charges against Tammy Bullock and Charlotte Green. Investigators accused them of stealing Hollis's cash, a gun, and
Oh, me and Tammy got 4 packs of cigarettes out there too. We figured he didn't need them no more.
those cigarettes out of his truck and home, a home where Joyce Slade sat, grieving her husband's death, with people coming in and out. Coming up.
Do you think the fact that Tammy Bullock was a public official carried any weight through the course of this investigation?
Absolutely.
I'm not privy to the specific facts of that case. Have
Well,
a
how
good
about
day.
this? The victims in the Hollis Slade case say that you...
This is Joel.
Hi, Joel. This is Beth Bowling calling you back.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey,
It's going well.
Fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. Okay, so I just kind of wanted to update you a little bit because you aren't necessarily a victim yet because she hasn't been charged.
In September 2022, Hollis's sister Beth Bowling finally got the AG's lead prosecutor Joel Kozak on the phone. Kozak seemed to have no doubt he'd be prosecuting multiple people in those videos.
Who are you thinking of doing charges on? Tammy or?
I'm not sure. We're looking at everyone.
Okay.
Everyone in the report. So yeah, there's no one that I would assume if we're going to charge, it's going to be all of them.
Okay.
I can't see why we would not charge some of them. If we were going to not charge some people, then why would we charge anyone, right? So next, we'll reach out to you, and then we'll talk more about, like, the resolution and stuff after that happens, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't forgotten about it. We're not letting it disappear or anything. I just want to let you know that.
Okay, that's great. 'Cause, I mean, as you've probably seen, that's happened to us several times.
Oh, I mean, that's happened to a few of my cases, too, so I get it. So it's not just sitting around.
Okay, well, I didn't think you were. I I just hadn't heard any more, because we have so much other documentation if needed.
Right.
That if, I just didn't know where you were or where you were going, but you are looking towards.
Well, I mean, I don't think we need anything else to establish, the charges. But that doesn't mean we won't get it later when we're trying to. I mean, I could, if we end up charging, I couldn't see. I mean, I don't see why this would be a trial or anything, but you never know.
But almost everything the AG's office told Beth Bowling would happen never actually happened. Of all the people depicted in the videos, only Charlotte Green and Tammy Bullock were ever charged. In November 2024, without any notification to the public, AG Alan Wilson's office dropped the theft charge against Charlotte Green. A judge then ordered the clerk's office to destroy every record of Green's arrest and prosecution. And in late May 2025, the AG made the same deal for Tammy Bullock. You won't find any trace of those criminal case files inside the Marlboro County Courthouse ever again.
How did you find out about that disposition in the Tammy Bullock prosecution?
Getting contact from you. I got no word from anybody. In fact, they stopped talking to me many months ago.
Did you have any idea from the Attorney General's office at all, or anybody in your family, that was going to happen?
No idea whatsoever.
Hollis's sister rushed in from Indiana and met Tammy Bullock and company at her brother's home the day after his death. Bowling says the videos were proof the group tried to hide things from the family from the start.
We just need to be nice. We don't need to talk finances. We don't need to say we turned the house upside down today trying to find the wheel.
So Charlotte's walking over. Tammy's head right there. Tammy's still in the truck, and Charlotte's over. And now they're both looking in the truck.
What need would a staff in the probate judge's office have to be going through someone's truck?
I can't even imagine that she would have a need to go through his truck.
Bowling was Hollis's personal representative, guiding his estate through the probate court and finding permanent care for Joyce. She was also the one who contacted law enforcement and fought to have the theft allegations investigated. The state eventually named Joyce's nephew, Kevin Feyotis, as her legal guardian. They're now living in Florida.
The only communication I believe that Kevin had with them is when Tammy was charged, and then she was released on her own. The charge was still there, but she was being released.
So you spoke with Kevin after I informed you of the charge being dismissed?
I did.
And he still had no idea that was coming?
Correct.
Kevin Feyotis told me the same thing in multiple phone conversations.
Really, I didn't think it would do any good to report it. I didn't think they would do anything to her.
And don't forget Shonda Nash. She was listed as the statutory victim in the Tammy Bullock weapons prosecution. Nash also confirmed she never once heard from the AG's office about Bullock's dismissal until I called her days after. I found out about it after I searched the courthouse for it.
There's not a lot
the AG spokesman, Robert Kittle, told me the office absolutely contacted every victim. And he claims the agency has paperwork the victims signed, giving their blessings to dismissing Charlotte Green and Tammy Bullock's charges. The AG refused to show us those victims' signatures.
I was on the ground and she was over me like this.
Shonda Nash and Kevin Feyotis both told me they absolutely did not ever sign anything allowing the AG to dismiss those charges.
For the AG to say that, and for you all, Kevin Feyotis, to say that didn't happen, do you feel like the Attorney General of the state of South Carolina may be calling you all liars at this point?
Yes. Yeah, it does sound like they're lying, but they're saying that we're lying, that we're hiding the fact that they were staying in contact with people, and they did not.
Well, and it seems if they had continued to inform, that they should be able to produce documentation of that.
Beth Bowling still believes the AG's office failed Joyce Slade, the true victim in all of this.
That was totally ignored. There was no pointing out the treatment of the elderly, how somebody who's compromised. She has severe dementia. She could not protect herself, and they took advantage of that.
For the past month, we tried to schedule an interview with Attorney General Alan Wilson to allow him to explain to these victims and to the public why his office dropped everything in Marlboro County. Wilson refused to schedule time with us. Instead, his spokesman sent us a statement. We are legally very limited on what we can say to address your questions. In the case against Sheriff Charles Lemon and Andrew Cook, we worked closely with the U.S. Attorney's Office in deciding to move forward on federal charges. We dismissed our charges once the U.S. Attorney indicted on theirs. The charges against Tammy Bullock were dismissed. By law, we cannot give out any additional details. All the statutory victims in that case were kept informed. Our office talked to them numerous times throughout the process and let them know about the dismissal. By law, we are not allowed to release that paperwork. As for why we did not prosecute anyone else in the Hollis Slade case, we didn't have enough evidence to prove any charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Due to the legal limitations, we will not be responding to further inquiries about these cases.
Together, we fought to keep people safe, uphold the rule of law.
In late June, Wilson announced his run for governor, and the following day he went to local news stations campaigning, including Queen City News, and that's where we found him. Hey, Mr. Wilson, how are you?
How are you doing?
Why did your office abandon the state prosecutions of Sheriff Charles Lemon and Deputy Andrew Cook?
Well, Jody, I've got 8,000 cases right now, and I understand that you had asked about those. Our office gave you a statement. I can't talk specifically to the facts of those cases because I'm not familiar with them, but everything our office told you that we legally can tell you, we have told you legally. I hope you have a good day.
Why can't you tell the people of South Carolina why you chose to do this?
Jody, as again, we gave you an answer. The answer was there's some things we can legally say, things we can't legally say. I'm not privy to the specific facts of that case.
Well, how about this? The victims in the Hollis Slade case say that you...
To get in there, pump two, pump two, pump two, pump two, pump two.
South Carolina's top prosecutor claims he wasn't privy to the facts in a case where his own office indicted and helped remove a sitting sheriff. The AG's entourage was in such a rush to get out of here. They're going to leave you. They almost left a staffer behind. The victims say you never contacted them. All right. Well, that's the best we could do. Wilson and his crew never slowed down as they hurried out of our parking lot.
Do you think the fact that Tammy Bullock was a public official carried any weight through the course of this investigation and then ultimately the ending of the prosecution?
Absolutely. I'm just so disheartened and disappointed in that system. And Jody, one of the things that really concerns me about that is our situation can't be the only one.
If you can't get justice with a mountain of video evidence, I don't know when you can.
Just a few days ago, a judge's expungement order was carried out on Tammy Bullock's case files. The order commanded the Marlboro County Clerk of Court to destroy every record related to the former deputy probate judge's weapon and theft prosecutions. The same thing happened with Charlotte Green's theft case a few months ago. This all stems from the deals those women made with Attorney General Alan Wilson's office. Now, 4 years after we first rolled into Marlboro County and uncovered everything we dug up there, the state of South Carolina has ended every one of those prosecutions, and our final disrespects investigation is now final.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.